Time now to shine the spotlight on a local animal rescue group in our weekly Shelter Me segment. This week, we head across the river to Carneys Point, New Jersey.
The building was built in 1975 by the Salem County Vocational School.
Brumler was at the Salem County Humane Society for 5 years before he found Lynette.
I knew he was blind, and I thought he's going to be there a long time. So I brought him home, and it's been nothing but a blessing.
The Salem County Humane Society in South Jersey has opened up a new dog wing.
It will provide comfort and shelter for animals for years to come.
They're making plenty of families happy, but their status as a no-kill shelter also provides lifelong relief for the neglected.
The no-kill shelter is 100% volunteer-based, and they couldn't be happier with the results.
I'm the president of the Salem County Humane Society. I oversee all the operations of the whole shelter and volunteers.
So on the cat side, we make sure all of the cats have their medicine. We clean their litter boxes. We clean the floors, the bedding, the counters. We feed them twice a day with a little bit of wet food, just as like a treat.
Well, you come in and you feed them first, and then, you start to clean, and you do the laundry, and you walk them.
Sometimes just socialize them, like taco.
I'm the vice president, and I'm the adoption coordinator. So I'm the one that kind of runs the facility with the president and making sure everything is done and ready for the dogs. And as far as the adoption coordinator, I test dogs, and if we're going to take them in, I make sure they're tested. They have to be friendly. I look in their mouth, I pick up their feet, just to make sure that they're safe for the volunteers.
Well, I started out as a volunteer on the cat side. Then I ended up moving to the dog side, and now I am on the fundraising committee.
When I first started, I've been here, September will be 16 years. So when I first came in, you'd go through these doors, and this side and this side were one. Then they had the little rooms where you just went in, and in the back where you came on the cat side from the dog side, that used to be all dog rooms. So that whole wing over there has been rebuilt. This has been chopped up into rooms, and it does take slightly, not by much, but slightly longer, but it's more efficient. Like if one cat gets sick, we don't have to medicate all the cats in the room. We call it the big room, all the cats in the big room. So it kind of minimizes on our vet bill on that way.
As far as the adoption goes, we have an application that people fill out applications online. If they look at our website and then they see an animal they thought they'd like to come and see, they fill out an application, they email it to us, and after I get it directly to me, I do vet checks where, if they have other animals, I make sure that I call their vet, make sure the animal is up to date on shots, and it's spay and neutered, and it's on heartworm medication, which is really what we look for. And then if that's all good, I ask them to send me a small video of their house, because I have to document things, that everything is good for the animal that's going there. And after I do that, then I set an appointment, and I bring them in, and they actually meet the animal, and they interact with it. And then if they have another dog, we test it with the other dog, take them for a walk, and then we take them out in the yard usually, and they play, and then we bring them in here and make sure there's no aggression. And then they sign the contract, I give them all the vet records, and our adoption fee is $200. And that's the adoption. Then I do that every day.
We go to different businesses, we hit up organizations. It's really just a lot of cold calling, especially since we're an all-volunteer group. We don't have state or federal connections or funding. So everything is basically cold calling, doing activities, doing yard sales, bake sales, just hitting up all different areas in the community to help. We do the Acme over in Pennsville. We usually do a coin drop twice a year. We just had one, as a matter of fact, last weekend. Then we do bake sales in front of, like, Tractor Supply. They allow us to do quite a few in front of their places or other places. We do, like, fairs or events that the Salem County is holding. We get tables there, and we raise funds there. We also do have a fur ball in October where we auction off, we sell tickets, people come in, we do 50-50s. We auction off baskets that we make from people donating items to us. Usually we find out what events are going on during the year. That is something that Tammy gathers for the most part. Other things we handle, like I was able to get in touch with a company where we do a clothing drive. As a matter of fact, we're doing one now that ends on the November 5th. We have people donate clothing, shoes, linens and stuff, and they pick up the items and then they pay us by the pound. And they donate that to the thing, and then they send those items to the needy. So it's kind of helping more than one place.
I try to put donations and our events in our story, adoption updates in our story, or anything in need. 8 weeks ago or something like that, we were in need of wet cat food. So I put that in the story as well, in need of this. Right now we have an adoption special for cats, so I put that up in our social media. I try to interact with people as much as I can. I definitely get the Instagrams, I get messaged, Facebook I check a couple times a day to answer questions.
Observe the animals. If you see anyone that's getting an upper respiratory or has a sore on it or any kind of issue, then you got to report it back to me because I do all the medical stuff for the animals.
Well, we have people that, if you were to volunteer, you come in and we train you.
We're all volunteers, everybody. So, if I have to come in on a shift because they need supervision or something, but I usually have a volunteer that's been here a while on each shift, and the new volunteers come in, they train them on their shift and tell them what to do. So there is somebody here that actually knows what they're doing when a new volunteer comes in. They're not just throwing them in the mess and say, oh, here you go. We have each shift has somebody that's been here quite a while.
And the fun part is like the lab that we had. Well, it's all fun. You're visiting, you get to know new people, the animals. But like we had a shy lab here tonight, and one of the volunteers had him in here and kind of just as if she were home with him, like kind of socialize him and let him know, or let her know that it's safe here and make her feel comfortable. So if other people are doing laundry or walking or whatever, it frees somebody else up to spend time just socializing with the dogs, and that's part of it too.
Yeah. And she seemed so much better after she had somebody, because then we put her into the kitchen and we gated her while we were doing things, and she came around. She came over to us, brought us her toy. Yeah, she did. It's just, it's rewarding. It really is. At least 2.5 hours a week.
Yeah, and people don't have to commit to a certain schedule to begin with. If they want to try it out, they might just come, a couple different times to see what the different shifts are like, or to just try it out, Well, we have the leashes that they weave in and out, like it goes around their neck and then down their back and across under their front legs so that they can't pull out of it. So yeah, we use those leashes, and then also sometimes just let them run in the yard because then they get to run a little faster. And then if they're new dogs, we don't know how strong they are, or if they're pullers or whatever, we'll keep them in the yard until we know them better.
It's usually the one special one that we use because it doesn't choke them. It's like a harness, but it's made differently. So when you're walking them, they get used to this around their neck, but it doesn't choke them.
just come in and volunteer, even if it's just to wash a dish or run a load of laundry or to take a dog for a walk, help clean out the kennels, feed the animals. That's, where a lot of the help is needed too, besides, the fundraising, but just coming out and helping us take care of them. That's one of the biggest parts of it, is taking care of them and making sure they stay healthy and well fed and groomed.
They can foster animals, either or, if you're comfortable with dogs or cats. So we can do that. They can do vet runs. We have somebody that does a lot of vet runs, but just even doing that helps out. Spreading the word, people don't think that helps, but that really does. Shifts. I mean, if you can do once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, once a month, it doesn't matter. There's no little amount. Any time that you can help helps. Because, like I said, so one time you might come in and it might be full, and then the next week you come in at the same exact time and there's one person. So it's really just whatever you can do. It can sharing on social medias. That always helps, because that gets out further and further, especially with the algorithm. I do the social media, so especially with the algorithm, it's harder to get it out as much as we used to, So even just sharing them, I mean, every little bit helps.
We have groups that come here and help out with, depending on the age of the youth groups. Mostly they work with the cats. On the cat side, they can come in for a day and do some cleaning, help with the cats, brush the cats, socialize the cats, do stuff like that.
Yes, in order for them to volunteer with cats, they have to be 10 years old, but they have to come with a parent or a guardian, and they have to stay with them while they're here. If they're 16 and above, they are more than welcome to do on the dog side or the cat side, whichever they prefer, and they can be here without an adult and just help out on our processes, cleaning runs, washing dishes, filling up buckets. It's not all peachy creamy, but there's work involved in it, and then actually playing with the animals, taking them for a walk, and the dogs and the cats, coming in and play with them.
My favorite part of the job is interacting with the animals.
That's the best part, is that, when you see, when they bring somebody in who's in a horrible condition and we get them back to health and then a loving family adopts them, I think that's the best part, seeing these animals get homes.
I like to be the one to show them love after being abused or neglected or thrown outside or whatever it is. I like to be that one person to just be consistent enough with them, especially with cats. You have to really be consistent to show them love.
Playing with the dogs.
Yeah, it is. That's the fun part, just playing with them.
Adopting the animals out.
Spay and neuter. We're one of the only non-kill in Salem County, so it's a lot because there's so many animals out, and we can't always take them all. Like I say, we're regulated, so we can't go. We're not allowed to just go take the animals from a neglect situation, or if you see them outside, like we're not legally allowed to take them. For us, I mean, to spay and neuter it's huge.
It's very important to keep your dogs on heartworm preventative, up to date on rabies and vaccines. Keep your dogs groomed, and not to let your cat outside. Cats should not be outside. If they are outside, they need to be flea treated, and they need to be in a controlled area where they can't run and get hit by a car or whatever the case may be. Oh, I've got a few at home that I've adopted myself.
Oh, Scout, it's my boy. He's been there for years and years and years, and he'll be there forever. And I just love him to death. He's not going to be able to be adopted. He's just very hard to handle. So the people that can handle him, give him as much love as we can.
Chica. Chica was here quite a long time, and then she found a home with a neighbor of one of our volunteers from our shift. And so we get to hear all about Chica's travels. And he brought her here one night to see everybody, so that was fun.
They're all special. They all have their special needs and everything.